What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode, Next Gen. It's your host, Destiny, a.k.a. Grateful Kid, and I'm here with...
Joshua Fontenot.
Josh Johnson.
Karen Bevels. Kira Mims.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming up for your this episode. And this, obviously, by the reason of the episode is, can man be emotional? Y'all have any inputs on that? Or should y'all want me to go first?
Wait, clarify what you mean. Like, is it physically possible for them to be emotional, or is it socially acceptable for them to be emotional?
Both.
Well, we know that everybody feels feelings.
Yeah, you know what feels, but can man be emotional? That's the thing.
It just depends.
I say, go ahead.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I be hearing women at the time, they like, they want men to be emotional. And so it's like, most of our lives we be like, be tough and all that stuff. And then we don't, speak out as to how we feel just in general. Because like people think like when men get emotional, like they weak. But that's not actually true. It's room for everybody to, have an emotional feeling.
Okay. And well, for me, I say it depends. Like, a man can be emotional, but to a certain extent.
That's for everything, though.
Well, but in that particular situation, a man, females want us to be emotional, but they don't really want us to be emotional. It's just my opinion, just like based on what I've seen. You know what I'm saying? And I've experienced as well. So, like, I feel like they will want us to be emotional, but just to a certain extent, because when let's say there's a situation, right? Like a car breaks down, right? You and your girl, right? Mm-hmm. And y'all driving, and somehow, somewhere, the car breaks down. She don't want you to be emotional, that particular emotion. She's trying to figure out, she gonna look up to you. I'm like, okay, what we gonna do? Like, how are we gonna get, what's the plan?
Yeah.
I think you're asking the wrong question.
Okay, what's the question?
Because, of course, everybody's emotional. Regardless of if you think that you are not, you feel emotions. What you're getting at is, how is there like a healthy way men can process their emotions and how they can get through their emotions? So back to the example you said. You're driving in a car, it breaks down. There are multiple ways you can go about this situation. You're going to feel emotions at some point. But the thing is, it's like when you feel that emotion of stress, because say you're trying to get somewhere, that's why you're driving there. Right. You're trying to get to whatever you got to get to, and now the car broke down. Stress is a big one, right? But now that you feel that stress, what are you going to do with that stress? Are you going to lash out on your girl? You're going to lash out on your car? Or are you going to be like, okay, I'm stressed right now. Let me see the next steps I can do to get through this problem so we can get back on the road. So it's not about being emotional, because I'm an emotional guy. I feel my feelings very well.
Yeah.
But I have to take the steps of talking to myself and saying, okay, I feel this way. How are we going to be able to, as a body, move together to get past this emotion? Why am I feeling this way? All that. So I think that's really the question. Like, do guys have the right processes to process their emotions?
I think a lot of guys don't. Like, being somebody that has been with a lot of guys who, I'm going to say, lack emotional intelligence, being, like, nonchalant or whatever, like, that's so cool. No, it's not. It's not.
It's not.
There's nothing I dislike more than a nonchalant man, because all that you're doing to me is telling me that you don't, one, you don't feel comfortable to share your emotions with me.
Yeah.
Two, it's like you don't care. Like, the guy that I'm talking to right now, like, we got into it yesterday.
Uh-oh.
It was we're good now. Like, that's
okay. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm on record, y'all. I'm saying this on record. Oh my God.
Say to the mic. Say to the mic.
It's gonna stay between us.
That's my man. That's not my man. But like, that's my man.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But I was telling him, I was like, I get that you're very like he's a little bit older than me, and so like his
Perspective.
his perspective is very different, and we come from different cultures. Like, so it's sometimes I say things, and he's like I don't like that. I don't agree with that.
What country is he in?
He's African.
Oh, so he's Nigerian.
Oh.
I'm very I'm a very like women do their own thing. Like he says he likes to tell me I'm very American. But and whenever we talk about it, like I get it because I'm like like that definitely the things that I think are definitely from a very Western perspective.
Yeah.
But I told him I was like for me when we're having conversations or I get upset about something and you like not even that you don't get upset at me but you don't even react like that makes me feel like you don't care that I'm upset.
Okay, I see what you're coming from. Yeah.
Because like why if I'm upset and I'm saying like oh my God this is so horrible whatever and you're just like okay oh okay
Yeah.
But like I got a question.
yeah
So like when that happens, like have you ever thought like oh okay like he needs time to process it like because don't get me wrong like I get what you're saying that he seems like he doesn't care about the situation when you bring it up. But what if it's like you bring up the situation, now he has to process how he feels about the situation to come back to you to give you an answer that you're looking for right then and there.
Yeah.
So with that I come from and my best friend she's like that. She has to when we get into arguments like that's my sister. We get into arguments I'm always like da 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 this is how I feel this made me mad.
Yeah.
That's how my family is. We saying it right then and there. You made me mad. You pissed me off. I'm gonna tell you pissed me off, and then we're gonna yell it out, and then we're gonna be fine. Her family, they're like, we get mad. We'll take like a day, a whole 24 hours before anybody says anything. I'm not used to that, and like I think that just comes like you have to talk about like your communication and stuff like that. Because he told me that he was kind of like that, and I was like, I'm gonna need you to tell me like, oh, like I need a minute. I need to think about it because if you don't, then I'm
I understand that. I do understand that.
I wanted to say like to what you were saying, but I feel like I was talking to this one guy like I don't know what we are, but we're something. And but no, like I was.
Hey, that's how we.
Okay. Like, I was trying to figure out like what we're doing. So I was like telling him like this is how I feel. This is what like I want from you and all that. And he didn't say anything. He was like, okay. And he just like nodding his head. And I'm like, okay, like what do you have to say about it? And so I was trying to give him space to like process it and then come back and tell me like, you know, what he was thinking because I thought he needed space. And then he like never came back. And then it's just like, it's like frustrating because if I'm sharing my emotions, then like this is a space for you to share your emotions. That way it's not like one-sided. And then it's like, it's kind of embarrassing if I'm the only one, you know, like saying how I'm feeling. And you're just like looking at me like, oh, okay, I understand. But not like adding or giving like your emotions to it. It's irritating. It's very irritating.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, I don't want to do this anymore.
You gotta like have boundaries for that. Like, hey, like I feel this way when this happens. I would appreciate it if this happens. Like you gotta communicate about it. If y'all don't talk about it, then how is it gonna be fixed? If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Yeah, but okay, sometimes and y'all, I told y'all my voice is gone, but sometimes like have y'all heard the little TikTok song that's like I want you to give me flowers but I don't want to tell you that I want flowers?
I'm not a mind reader.
Okay, but see, do you know how much
that's how y'all got fixed out, man. I ain't gonna hold you.
I'm not a mind reader.
But okay, but then it feels like you don't want to feel like you're begging to be loved.
Yeah.
If you feel like you gotta beg, that's not the person you want to be with.
Yeah.
Ow!
like this. Say if I'm with a girl, if I would much rather her tell me, hey, like I'm feeling this right now. I could really use a hug. I would give her the best hug I can give her at that moment, rather than her being passive aggressive, looking at me, and then I'll just give her a side hug because I'm not thinking that it's so important to her. But if she says like, yo, like I had a really long day, like can I hug you? I would hug her And all she had to do was just say it.
Yeah, but like if we're like always saying, "Oh, I need a hug," and it's like you're never gonna like I don't want to have to tell you what I need all the time. Like if I've said it like enough, then I'm not gonna keep saying what I need because at that point I feel like you're just not hearing or understanding like the whole situation.
And there's an intimacy that comes. I think it's really special when you find like, ooh, I don't know if I'm supposed to. Do you know what I'm about to talk about?
Oh, this might get good.
So I had a guy that like he could read me whenever, and like we ended up like things didn't work out. We're cool now, whatever. But it was very special. Like I think our relationship was like really special because he could just like tell. Like if I was having a bad day, I got in an argument with my parents, whatever. He would just see that, and then just like give me a hug. Hey, let's go get something to eat, whatever. And like that's such a good feeling to have.
Okay.
And it is hard to find. And I know that that's not fair to be like, not every person is going to be the exact same. But that I will say that feeling is so special, and you want to have it with whoever you're
So
like.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So when you go order food, when you walk there and you walk to the cashier, are you expecting them to be like, I know what you want? You don't have to order.
But that's different.
How's
you
it
don't
different?
have an intimate relationship with the cashier. They don't know you as a person.
The more intimate it gets, the less you talk.
No, I mean they know you. They know what.
I would think that the more intimate you get with somebody, the more you communicate, rather than the more intimate you get, the less you communicate.
But like you move, like you know how you ever seen people that like they move in tandem, like they just he steps and I step, I go and he goes, because they've been together for so long that it's like
You don't have
it's
to.
that's so good. But like obviously like yes you need to use words, but if I've been with you for a long time, there's like certain things like I have certain gifts. Like when I lie, I always look over to the side. And the guy that I was talking about, anytime we would get in an argument, do you know how frustrating it is to try to be like, I'm not mad. Yes, you are. I saw it. Like, but it feels good to know, like, you see me. To be loved is to be seen.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
No.
We're just talking.
That's cool.
What's
It's
your
cool.
take, man? What's your take?
Yeah.
So is it like say for instance, long term, you expect him to like, know everything? No.
No, I don't expect you. You don't need to know everything. My dad doesn't know every time. Well, no, my dad actually does know every time my mom's mad. But that's because my mom's like me. She has a lot of talents.
Or he made her mad.
That too. But I guess with them two, like they've been together for so long, like you can tell that he just understands her in a different way. And you
Okay.
but that takes my parents have been together since they were like 22. That takes they're 50.
Dang,
They've been together for 3 decades.
Man, that's rare right there.
So like
that's rare.
that's not I'm not asking for 3 decades in 3 months.
Yeah.
But I am asking for you to pay attention to me and be able to say like, okay, I can tell when she gets really quiet like this that something's up, or if she's.
That's different. That's different from what you're saying. Because like, you're saying, like, of course, like when you look a certain way, I'm gonna be like, okay, cool, like something's going on. Let me ask her what's going on. And then I would ask her, what does she want me to do? Like, what can I help with? But what you're saying is, say you're sad, and the person's like, okay, she wants this. But, like, what if you don't want that at that moment? Because you can't want this. I'm not saying you can't, but there's you might not want the same thing every time. So you might be sad one day, but some Skittles will help you. The next day you might be sad, but just watching a good TV show or movie will help you. But if he gets you Skittles that time, that might not be what you really needed. So, like, that's when communication comes into play. Like, hey, this is why I'm sad, so I need, this will help me out. And people change, like, over time, like, because you should be growing in a relationship on your own, not together, but, like, as your own, and then come back. And as you change, you're going to have different taste. So, one day you grow. It's like, I really like massages. Like, massages really help calm me. Then, like, hey, babe, I've had a really long, stressful day. Can you give me a massage? and you might have never asked for a massage, but because you're growing and you're able to communicate that helps with the intimacy of the relationship. Because you're not going to ask some random stranger to give you a massage. You're not going to ask the cashier to give you a massage, right? So like, more
That would be tough.
Wherever you go to eat, you ask for a
Couldn't be me.
massage. I want to know.
Couldn't be
But
me.
no, like
What kind of places you go to?
I'm saying, but for real, yeah, like I feel like the more intimate you get, the more communication that goes on, not less. It might seem like less, but that's because they've had the communication base, right?
Yeah.
It might seem like easy, but I don't think that's easy to accomplish. That's the thing.
Yeah, I totally agree because like I'm around folks that got like a whole bunch of drama and they be talking about their boyfriends. I'm like,
Yeah.
why you talking about your drama to your friends other than the guy you mess with? Like,
Yeah, you talking about your relationship.
because like when it comes to relationship, it put the pieces together. It's like, okay, what's going on? And so when you communicate honestly, then that's when the pieces like, come together. But if y'all don't communicate, then it just scrambled. And you trying to find like whatever piece go to where.
Well, for me, man, I ain't gonna hold you. I have a certain view about relationships, man. I see relationships as like having tough conversations with your significant other. You know what I'm saying? I like not saying like you shouldn't have tough conversations with another, but I think that's what builds a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you know can you actually be with that particular person for X amount of years, or do you just actually see yourself with that particular person? You know what I'm saying? Because like everyone, I won't say everyone, but majority of people think relationships, it's all sweet and all that, which it is, but what comes with that is also having those type uncomfortable conversations and how do we handle them. You know what I'm saying? Like my girl, when we have a disagreements, right? Or we have about certain thing, like, and we had this tough conversations. I'm looking at like, man, okay, what is the best scenario? What's the best option? How can I handle this? How can we fix this? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell her, hey, I think we should do this. And she's going to tell me, I'm expecting her to tell me what she thinks about this too. And then we come to a conclusion, you know what I'm saying? And then we can either decide to, okay, you know what, this is not really going to work. And we could go on our separate ways, or we could keep on going and go to the next stage. You know what I'm saying? Y'all disagree on that?
Yeah.
Because to me, like, I really don't, like, I don't really see certain things in a positive way. Not saying like that's bad thing, but like relationships nowadays, I keep seeing on social media, and they get this impulse. This is like it's sweet and this and that, but they don't really necessarily bring out the bad side of the tough conversations, the uncomfortable conversations with that particular person. You know what I'm saying?
Well, for one, you can't look at social media relationships.
Well, true. That's true, but I don't see a whole lot of what's it called conversation. I don't hear about all that. I just hear what's it called that is good, this and that. Like I'll positive.
Now, cause I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I was in that same. What is it? Algorithm.
Okay.
Where all that came up was just relationship talk, or who pays first. Should they cover whatever? And I had to legitimately delete TikTok, delete everything, go back on there.
Yeah.
And every time it showed up, I had to put not interested and quickly swipe. Because it's draining to hear all that, really.
Yeah.
Because if you like somebody, you just like them.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Do whatever.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
but now I'm just saying that those particular situations, man, those are really define what that's what a relationship is, man. Having this uncomfortable conversation with that particular person. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I want to say uncomfortable because, if you like them and they like you, there's really no uncomfortable situation. Because if they know what they like and you know what you like, that will help out with the conversation. And second of all, it can't really be uncomfortable because I feel like when you say uncomfortable, you're talking about you want Like you care for. You're trying to say the right thing to protect their feelings, but by doing that, you're not doing them a justice because you're not telling them the full truth. So, like, if you were to say, "Hey, does my food taste good?" To I like
yo.
to avoid an uncomfortable situation, I might say, "It was all right. It was good. I did not like it." But
Don't say that to me.
to really help them out, you have to. It comes with knowing who you are, and it might be like, the sauce was good, but the chicken itself needed more seasoning. So I feel like if you were to cook it a little bit longer or add the seasoning to the chicken, it would come out a much better thing. Now I said the same thing, but one of those things helps the other person out a lot more, and it's not. It wouldn't leave it uncomfortable. So that's when it comes back to communication. Like, you have to first know how to communicate yourself.
Yeah, that's facts.
And then once it comes to, quote unquote, an uncomfortable situation, it makes it that much easier to go through because you know how to communicate with somebody else and make sure that you guys are on the same team. Because if you're in a relationship, it's basically a team.
Pretty much.
So you're not fighting or arguing with each other. You're arguing and fighting against a problem together.
Right.
So I know going into that, it makes it so much easier for any uncomfortable communication. So like, what give me an example. Like, what would you say is an uncomfortable situation?
Not that. I can think of, but I just.
Y'all got any?
I can.
Like an uncomfortable situation.
Yeah. Actually, give us an uncomfortable situation and we can act it out.
Oh, wow.
Act it out.
Damn. Oof.
I'll tell you something that I've always had trouble with.
Okay.
That, like, it always gets brought up, and it's gonna make. I don't think it'll make me sound bad, but like, and you can attest to this. I love to talk, and like where I'm from, everybody like we just talk. That's just what it is, and I always get in trouble. My friends are like, when we go out, don't talk to strangers. Don't talk to strangers.
Talking to strangers?
I love to talk.
No, she talked.
I love to talk to strangers. I mean, like, obviously, like, if I'm with my girls or with, like, people I know, then, like, I wish you would try to snatch me up from right here in front of all of them. Like,
That's wild. That's a wild.
So,
Yeah,
like,
that's wild.
I should be okay.
The
And
audacity you gotta have to attempt that.
you know what I mean? Like, I'm safe. Like,
I'm safe.
I'm at least relatively safe. And, like, I know I have whatever.
No, I got you.
So, like, I like to meet new people. Like, I went out with some of my friends, and we were talking to these guys, and they had on, their fits were tough, and they were sparkly, and it was beautiful.
Sparkly.
Sparkly.
No. It was like this dude, he had, like, a black jacket with, like the back of it was, like, bedazzled.
What had
But, like, it was tough. It was tough. Like, if I was like,
You jealous? You wish
Yeah,
you
like,
wish I was
I-
you, huh?
can I get that? Can I have one, please? And I was like, okay, let me see the fit. Turn around, do a spin. Like,
Oh yeah, nah.
No, that's crazy.
It's wild.
Nah, that's too much right there.
did a spin, and he just showed
Nah, I
us.
would
Dude, do a spin.
Exactly, and it made them like I could tell that it made him feel like really good. I was like, you did that, like serious.
Because if I put a fit on, I know it's a fit, and a girl come up to me and say, "Do it 360, boy."
Bro, I see that in social. I see that, bro. I'm like,
I don't want to smile.
I don't know,
But
man.
I didn't even mean it in like a romantic, like I want you to try to talk to me or anything like that. I was just doing it because you had a
Hype him up.
Yeah, you had a fit on. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, whatever. But for me, a lot of times, people that I talk to, they get very upset because they're like, I don't like that you just talk to a lot of people like that. Stuff like that. I
That's
don't like
crazy.
these people. If I'm talking to somebody and you ask me for my Instagram after we have a chat, I'm gonna tell you I have a man. I have somebody. I'm a lie to you.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but I don't want to ever lose that part of myself.
No.
And so how would you tell your girl, like, if she was like me? Like,
Okay,
What would you say?
so if you were,
My grandma the same way, so I don't got a problem.
Like, I'm just chatting. I don't want that man.
well, here go the thing. This is the thing.
You're funny.
Here go the thing. If that's how you are, and I chose to be with you, I should know that's how you are. So like, if I know you're you're friendly, not like in a bad way, but you're a friendly person. You like being friendly to people you don't know and people you do know. So I would have to, because I'm not. There's this quote I know. It's like, it goes like, if somebody says they love a flower, but picks it, they don't really love flowers, but the idea of a flower. Yet if they truly love the flower, they would leave it be so it can grow, and that way they can appreciate it. So if somebody really did love you and they knew, okay, she just likes being friendly, helping people feel good. If they try to change that, then that's not somebody you want to be with long term. Because why would I get with you just to change you to who I want to be? I would want to be with you to be with you. So if you're the type of person to go tell somebody, to go tell a homeboy to do 360, I'm like, yeah, that's my girl. Yeah, look at her. She hyping up her. I would have to know that before I get inside a relationship with you. If that's not something I like, then I have to have enough self-respect to be like, okay, you're a great person.
Bye.
Exactly. Because why even put yourself in that situation? So that's why that wouldn't really be a conversation, because why are you with me if you don't like me?
Thanks.
You know what I mean?
Facts.
Okay, so that was a bad situation to give you. But
No. Because it happens. It happens. Yeah. So, like, I understand where it comes from, but I also had to learn that if you really want to love somebody, you have to appreciate them for them and let them be them. You can't change them. You can't control the situation. Because if you really are comfortable within yourself, you're not going to be worried about what anybody else had to do or if they try to get at your girl. Because it's like, I'm me. You can't get me nowhere else. So if you have the audacity to leave me for him, if you're happy, I love it. But I'm not going to stop you. And I think that's just where it comes in. Like, the him being comfortable with who he is and feeling like I guess he's not good enough or whatever, because he's scared of somebody else taking you, or he's scared of somebody else appreciating that more than he does, and then you leave for him. You know what I'm trying to say? Mm. So it just depends on the person, if they understand what a relationship really is.
And I think that's one people nowadays don't really get, like, what actually is a relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, just make sure like we're on the same boat. I'm gonna ask y'all, each one of y'all, what is a relationship to y'all? So I'm gonna start with my boy Jay. Josh, what's a relationship to you, man? I know it's like I know it's like a crazy ass question, but like we all, like she just said, we're all from a different background. We all, like, live in different ways, man. So like each one of us has a certain view about a certain thing, or our own definition about a certain thing. So I'm asking you, man, what's a relationship to you, man? What is a relationship to you? And then y'all go next.
I'll try, because I haven't been like into like a serious relationship before, and so it's kind of hard trying to define it, because I don't really know love for real. So, but I say a relationship is like a relationship is like yeah. And so like a relationship is, to me, is like you find somebody that you truly want to be with in life, and so you will do whatever you can just to make her happy in a way, by communicating, giving her things,
Right.
being reliable. So that's why I think much. But I know the doctor right here. He might got some.
No, because that's how I used to think, and I got hurt doing that.
Oh yeah, you be like that. My bad, bro.
Yeah, there's something that says like grief is the receipt of love.
Right.
Because love hurts.
It definitely
does.
Trust me.
Yeah, and I had to really learn what a relationship is. And I feel like a relationship is not something that you can just go find. It's something that you have to build. And it has to be something that serves you, not something that is just there. And when I say serve, I don't mean like
yeah, you gotta break it down. Like you gotta break it down.
Or break my clothes. It's more like yin and yang. So like if I'm a go-getter, I have a hard time cooking. I have a hard time doing my clothes. I have a hard time planning. But if there's something I want, I know I'm gonna go get it. A relationship comes in where it's like you find like you just come across somebody who's good at planning, loves cooking and cleaning, and it's like the attributes that you don't have that they have. Yeah. It's like a puzzle piece. So where you lack, she is proficient at. Because together, if you're in a relationship to where you're better on your own, then that's not a good relationship. A relationship should come to where when you come together, the total output is higher than you by yourself. Because if you're with this person and you're having your output is lower than what it would normally be, that's not the person for you. That's not a relationship. Now, when you're with somebody and by yourself, you're good, but with them, you're able to accomplish so much more, that's a relationship. Now, then it comes into if you are attracted to them. Because that's just a relationship part. That's like just friendship, because you got to have a friendship to be with them. Now, when it comes to a relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, dating, at that point, once you have that base of friendship, it's at that point it's, okay, am I attracted to him? Is this somebody that I can see myself being with? Yeah. That's where the relationship comes into play.
Okay, y'all. I really want to hear your point. I want to hear what you have to say about that.
My point? No, I agree with that. I feel like a relationship and like love and like, because you have relationships with like everybody that you meet, like everybody you know, you have a relationship with. So I feel like a relationship like by itself is just a connection with somebody, and then because like relationships could be like friends but then when you have like dating and like love on top of that, then it becomes like a selfless kind of love to where you care for that person enough to where like you want to do what's best for them, and then like I feel like you're still together, but I don't know if I'm making sense anymore, but like I lost my train of thought. But I feel like love like changes the relationship because then it's more selfless, and like you're preferring like because I like whenever I go to church, like our pastor kind of says like love is like a preference, and it's like you prefer for them to be. I'm not explaining this very well.
Like choosing.
Yeah, like you want them to be like you love someone so much to where you want things better for them. I don't know.
You have to be careful what you said though. It's not really selfless. I think of it as selfish because you have to be whole in order to give.
Yeah, but nobody's whole.
No, but like, yes. Like, if you have to rely on a relationship, at that point, you're taking away from the relationship.
Okay, I agree with that.
So, like, say it's 50-50 equals 100. But if you're not whole, you're now at 30, 35. You're not at 100 anymore because you're focusing on keeping the other person at 50. But if you were to focus on keeping yourself at 50, you have to trust that the other person is going to keep themselves at 50 as well. And then at that point, when you're both at 50, you're able to get to 100.
I feel like that's different than being selfish, because a selfish like relationship isn't going to last. If you're just constantly doing what's best for you and not considering the other person, then it's not going to work. So I feel like selfish isn't like the way to describe it.
No, I think it's selfish because you can be selfish but still be considerate.
Yeah, but like what's I feel like you'd have to give like a better example.
Selfish has a negative connotation.
Yeah, like selfish doesn't mean bad. Selfish is I know this is what I need done, so I'm going to take care of myself first. Like on an airplane, when they tell you, have y'all flown before? Yeah. So on an airplane, they be like, if the air pressure drops, they're going to drop air mask. Take care of yourself first before you help somebody else with their face mask. Because if you try to help them out with their face mask first, you don't have your face mask on. So you trying to help them, you not ready, and then something happens to you, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, selfish is this is what I need to do for myself. And then where the love comes in or the consideration comes in is, okay, so now that I have these things set that I need to do, what are things that you need to do? And then once we have that set, we now can come in the middle and say, this is the time that we have together that we can choose. Because it's like, I don't know if you heard of the trope, like the business father who's never with their kids but is always around the kids. Mm-hmm. If your mind is always in the office because you're not in the office, when you're actually with somebody you want to be with, you're not going to be with them. So the best thing to do is to give your all in the office. So when you go get with your kids, you can actually be with your kids. So if you're with somebody and you're putting off things that you need to do for yourself, when you're with them, all you're going to think about is things that you should have done that day, rather than taking care of what you got to do. And then when you're with them, now you can give your full attention to that person. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, because y'all are both selfish, y'all like, hey, this is what I need to do for myself first, and then we can come together once we're done. You can now give your full attention to that person instead of thinking, dang, I should have done my homework today. Or, dang, I should have went to the gym. Or, I should have did this better. Or, you know what I mean? So because you're taking that time for yourself, like, this is time I need. I'm not going to give it to you. Because if I don't take it, it's not going to work. Mm-hmm. So that's when I say selfish but considerate. Because you're selfish, but then it's like, in that time, when you have free time, it's like, okay, now we can do this.
With that, though, this is not a complete thought.
It's fine, shoot.
I'm going to just say that this is not a complete thought.
Yeah, this is a safe place, man. We're all just giving our opinion
If
about certain
anything,
things, man.
it's going to complete as you say it.
Probably not. Probably not.
It be
But,
like
like,
that.
with what you said with, like, the business thing, with, like, having
The businessman.
yes, yeah, I'm trying to think of how to put what I'm about to say. If you're always trying to there's not enough time in a day or enough time in life for you to always get everything that you want and then do something for somebody else after. Like, that's not realistic. You can't do that. Sometimes you do have to make sacrifices and say, like, okay, I want to go to the gym, but, like, such and such wants to do this, and, like, that's important to them. Mm-mm. So, like, I don't think that what happens when you do that is that because people are never going to be fully satisfied. There's always going to be something else that you need to do in self-improvement, because it doesn't stop. Self-improvement is not something that is stationary. It's something that is continuous.
Yes.
And so with it being continuous, there's never a point where you're going to be done. There's always going to be something else that you want to do. But you have to recognize that, okay, if I care about this person and this is something that is important to them, then I'm going to make a decision and weigh those decisions, because obviously you should never be so focused with yourself that you neglect the people that you're supposed to be caring for. But you should also never put those people so far ahead of yourself that you aren't taking care of you. You have to, a relationship is a give and take. Like, with my best friend, we live 2 states apart right now. Right? That's my sister. Sometimes she calls me, and I'm supposed to be doing homework. So what am I going to do? I'm going to put that girl on speaker. She's talking to me. I'm just listening. And I'm still doing my homework because it's important. Am I fully focused on my homework? Probably not. I understand that this is important to her.
That's real.
This is the situation that she has. So because I love her, I'm going to say, okay, I'm making the sacrifice, making the decision to have her also on the phone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But now look at what you did. So now
I'm going to still get my homework done. Make no
but
mistake.
it's different now, because think of it like this. Priorities for one, and balance. You have priorities. You have certain things that you know you need to get done for the day, no matter what. Now let's go to your example for homework. You can either, let's say homework took you 30 minutes. You can either do homework for 30 minutes, or you can exchange that and call your friend for 30 minutes, or do both for 30 minutes. Now think about how efficient either one of those are.
The doing both works.
Of course it's gonna get done, but think about in the future when you come to a test and part of that homework is on a test, but because your full attention was on that homework, you're not thinking, dang, I shouldn't have called them. That's where the resentment comes in. Like, dang, I shouldn't have talked to them while I was doing my homework because this is a problem I did on the homework, but I can't remember because my attention was also on my friend. Rather, because you also got to think about it, if the person you're with doesn't allow you to do things that you need to do, that's very controlling and manipulative.
Well, yeah, like I don't mean.
Because, like, say if you were to say, hey, friend, I got to do my homework tonight. Can I call you when I'm done?
We do that too. And that's okay.
And that's
but
okay.
Sometimes.
Like, if they're trying to force you to say no, like, call me while you're on your homework. Like, call me while you're doing your homework.
No, but that's a decision that you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to be like, no, like, I need to do my homework. Like, I don't have my full attention on my homework. I can call you when I'm done. I'm telling you right now, I can call you when I'm done. But if I call you while I'm doing my homework, I'm not going to be able to get my homework done to the full efficiency. And I'm not going to be able to give you my full attention. Because there might be something that she says or he says, I don't know if you can state. And it's like, if you would have heard it, giving your full attention, you would have gave them much better advice or giving them a much better response rather than you over here trying to figure out what 2x plus bx plus 5 equals, and you're trying to tell them at the same time what they should be doing. You know, like, nobody really wins. It's all just minimum effort. Rather than if you give everything 100%, and you are on the phone with them, it's like, it's that much better. You know
Okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
I agree with what you're saying. I don't think.
But
it's not even. I think it's just because I have a different perspective. Because, like, I don't know what you said with the parents. Like, both my parents are doctors. My
whoa,
Wow.
that's
yes.
Ah,
yes.
crazy.
So now think about.
Can I hold $1?
Look. My wallet is empty. I open it and there's just dust.
Oh,
Like,
dang.
But
she broke the seal.
She living her best life.
not even. But both of them, there have been times where they had work or they had something else to do that they needed to do, but they made the decision to, like, come to my recitals or do something else. Like, if you love somebody, sometimes you're gonna make the decision, and I don't think that you have to be able to be wise enough to know when you can give and take.
Of course.
But you can't. Sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying. It's priorities. Because if you mean, obviously you do. I'm not saying you don't. But if you mean a lot to your parents, they're gonna say. That's what I'm saying. Obviously,
If they actually love you.
if they actually mean a lot to them, your recital is a priority.
Yeah.
So it's just along with the priorities that day.
But what you basically said was that if my dad had to leave work early to go to my recital, then if he's on the phone or he's going to be, because of that, he's going to be thinking about taking care of patients instead of me. So therefore, he should go take care of patients and then come to my recital late. That was the example that you gave.
Not the patience thing, but
do you
like
understand
the
what I'm
work,
saying?
the responsibilities.
His work is his patient.
Well, like, I get where you're coming from. Yes. And that's just one of those things where, but it's different because a doctor, they have like 12-hour shifts, 24-hour shifts.
Both they do their own thing, but that's with anything though.
But that's
with
where
anything.
it would come to you, and it's like, you have to also be understanding on both sides.
Yeah.
Like, if he has that many patients and he still took the time to come to your recital, even if he is busy, like, dang, like, I know you have so much work to do. It means that much more to me that you came. I know you were busy, and I do want to say thank you. Now, don't be wrong. Would you have much rather preferred he came to you and only focused on you at your recital? Or would
Then the homework response was then what I said with the homework does make sense.
It just depends. Like,
everything
really depends.
Now,
Do
But
y'all know what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying.
He came to your recital, but he didn't give your recital his full attention because he's focused on the patients back at the hospital. Rather than if he would have finished early and not came to your recital, he's now cheering you on. He's he damn near on stage, like, yo, look at my baby. You know what I mean? Like, which one would you rather prefer?
I kind of understand what you're saying because, like, I play baseball, right? And my dad don't mostly be at my games. Pretty much I'm not like, damn, my dad ain't here, I ain't gonna play good, he doesn't love me or none of that, he doesn't want to come to my game. I'm like, no, because he's working just to put food on the table. And so I kind of understand that, and he be tired because he be coming home by like 8 p.m. So I know he be tired. So it's like, say for instance, like my mom, she said, you don't have to do nothing for me. All I want is be successful. That's it. Now, if your parents like bring you down talking about you got failing grades, you failed me, you failed this family, then that priority, like you said, is not really there. Because like, how is that fair for your child to do her own thing after you having her to have an expectation for like you to take advantage of her success, other than being a grown person and worrying about your own way of living life? If you see what I'm saying, kind of.
I think it just comes down to communication.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. It's just communication, and that's it.
And that fact with your baseball games, hey Pop, I appreciate it when you come to my games. It makes me feel like this. Now it's up to your dad to know how you like. It's up to your dad to not act on that, because if he does care for you, he's gonna go to your games to make you feel like that. But in your case, with your recitals, it's like, hey Dad, I know you're busy, but I'll just appreciate it if you just show up. It can be for this amount of time, that amount of time. I would just appreciate it if you show up. So now it makes it easier for him, because say if he's thinking, I'm not going to want to go to her recital because I don't want to be thinking about my patients, so I'm not going to go. But if you were to say, hey Dad, I do appreciate it when you come. Can you please come and just be there? It's not gonna be easier for him, because now he's like, okay, I know I can do it now, because it's gonna be that much easier to go to your recital. What's going on?
I think I'm losing my mind, y'all.
What happened?
I thought that was you, but I think I'm hearing a ringing in my ear. But I thought it was her, so I was like, that's why I stopped. I was like, is she okay?
Oh yeah, I be having them them random rings in my ear.
Yeah, it just comes down to communication. Like if you say, hey Dad, I know you're busy, but if you can just show up for like 5 or 10 minutes just to show your support, I really appreciate it. So now he can come, give you that 5 or 10 minutes, and then he can go back to it, rather than if you were to have said anything at all. Because he wants to be the best father he can be to you. So he's going to do his best. So he's not going to want to come to your recital and give like lackluster support. He's going to come and support you fully. But if you communicate that, it's going to make it that much easier for him. So it's just communication.
Yeah, communication is pretty much the answer to everything.
No cap. No kizzy.
Especially relationships.
Exactly.
This is why I was saying, like, the more intimate you get with somebody, the more communication I feel like you should have. Because when you start, not really guessing, but when you start saying, oh, I already know, like, complacency kills. That's why, with me, I'm not afraid to ask questions. I'm not afraid to see how you're feeling. I don't care how long we've been together. I'm going to keep inquiring about you so I can be the best partner I can be to you. I'm not going to inquire less because, oh, she should know. Like, no. Cause I don't want to do that to you. Like, I'm going to tell you how I'm feeling. And if something changes, I'm going to tell you. What was up?
I don't know. I was good with that. No, what you say about what's a good communication. Yeah, that's pretty much one of the really the main issue that's really causing relationships to be off and on and not like really working. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And y'all can catch that on the next episode, Next Gen Podcast. We're talking about that, right? I ain't gonna hold you that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, man. Thank y'all once again for coming through for this podcast, man. It's a wrap, man. What can y'all have social medias?
Yeah, I do.
Yes. So what's your social media so they can find you, man?
You can find me on Instagram. It's Randy.savage, but the A in Randy is an 8. So there you go.
Okay, I'll put it up for you. And you?
Mine is Instagram is at yesits.kira. Kira is Kira.
Okay.
And you?
My Instagram is Karen, so it's Gary, G-A-R-Y.
Hey, don't be shy now.
I
I'm
always have to
saying.
like tell people Garyn and then Ariel, but it's spelled like Ariel, like the Little Mermaid.
Okay.
Spell it out for him.
Ariel.
And so my Instagram is htx._.fontano, all lowercase.
Yeah. And that's a wrap for this episode, man. Catch y'all on the next one.
Peace.
Peace.